Friday, November 19th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East, and a lot to talk about here. Very nice weekend is once again going to unfold for us, but some big weather changes as Thanksgiving week unfolds next week. I'll spend a lot of time in today's video discussing that and kind of the outlook as we head into early December. Let's start off with the radar this morning, and the radar data is plotted on that map. There's just not much to show you. Very quiet. There's been a little bit of snow in upstate New York and the UP and Michigan. Some action still out west, but that's really about it. Temperature-wise, kind of a chilly morning again. A lot of the Piedmont well down into the 30s this morning. However, look what's happening up here. Brutally cold air has been in Canada this week, and that's beginning now the process of spilling southward. So I know this is going to be a little weird to look at, but that's the temperatures in Montana, into Idaho and Wyoming, and these, if I can see if I can draw this for you, this shade of green right here, anything below that, north of that line rather, is sub-zero temperatures, and this brownish shade here, that is 8 to 10 degrees below zero. Yikes, that's cold air. And let me kind of show you what happens with this. Zonal flow right now across most of the lower 48. That means a west to east, fairly benign type of flow pattern. However, let's look at early next week. This is Monday evening of next week. Nice ridging here across the eastern U.S. It'll be a mild start to Thanksgiving week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but sharp change coming later in the week. This is Friday morning, Black Friday morning, the day after Thanksgiving. Huge trough in the eastern part of the country, and that trough only sharpens then at times as we go into the following weekend, and the GFS wants to keep it quite cold in the eastern United States right on into early December. Let's take a look at some of the specific modeling information here. Today, a beautiful day. It'll be still a little on the cool side. A lot of Piedmont highs a little shy of 60 again with full sunshine today. As we go through the weekend, though, if you want it a little warmer, we can deliver that for you. Highs into the 60s, well into the 60s. Saturday and Sunday. Monday, probably a lot of upper 60s for highs, and Tuesday still looks like probably the warmest day next week, with Piedmont highs in many locations up into the low 70s Tuesday. Wednesday, the GFS keeps us dry. The European wants to bring in a few showers late in the day, but I'll continue to mention the chance, maybe late Wednesday, the shower chances working in, and this is the Arctic cold front. And I mean, this is really, really cold air that's plunging in behind it. And there we are, Thanksgiving Day, and that is the day that it looks like the front will move through. So we're going to mention some shower chances for Thanksgiving Day itself as that Arctic front presses through, and then we are behind the front on Friday. And that is definitely a cold air mass, and like I mentioned a moment ago, the GFS and the European, Canadian as well, just reinforce that cold air through the following weekend. That's really cold stuff there. This is Saturday evening after Thanksgiving. This is well, let me go back to this chart first. And again, the modeling pretty much in agreement that the weekend following Thanksgiving is going to be very, very cold. We're talking highs and lows below average, probably some 40s in the Piedmont for highs. Lows well down into the 20s, and we'll see if we can get any colder than that, depending on how high pressure sets up and the winds behave at night. Yeah, it's going to be cold, and how long will the cold last? That's a pretty good question. The European wants to kind of scoot the cold out relatively quickly. But if you look at the European ensembles, they want to hold more often than not, troughing into the eastern U.S., even beyond the weekend of Thanksgiving. GFS certainly does as well. So I think there might be some modification at times, but really right on into December, probably the first week of December, we're going to want to keep those temperatures more often than not below average. And the GFS from time to time keeps popping these snowstorms out there in Fantasyland toward the end of the cycle. This was the 0Z run way out there, 384 hours. That is the 4th of December. Big snowstorm across the region. And again, you take that certainly with a huge mound of salt. But I do think there's some chance down the line of getting a storm system to pop. But, snow fans, there's nothing at all to get excited about as of yet. However, I do think there's some chance of a couple storm systems rolling through while we're in the grips of that cold pattern. So there is some chance we might wind up somewhere around the region with some wintry precip as we get toward early December. But, nothing at all yet to have any type of excitement over. All right, that is it for today. Have a wonderful weekend. By the way, Monday, working the midday shift at News 14 Carolina, so I will probably get a video on, but it'll be a little later than normal on Monday morning. If I don't get it done Monday morning, I'll certainly be back in the regular bright and early shift on Tuesday. All right, everyone have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the weather, and God bless.